So I share something on my Instagram that James said. It's one of the bold laws. Spontaneity is a conditioned response. And he was talking about this around our ability to ask questions. And if we can practice asking questions, it allows us to really spend more time listening to what our sellers and our buyers are saying. And over the last couple of sessions, we've been playing the question game with Enrica and Tony, and we've all kind of understood that we need to get better at our question asking. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I wanted to try something different. This is going to take everyone participating. I wanted to take like common objection we get from a seller and then come up with some questions around that so that we can start building our arsenal of questions. And so don't feel obligated to write anything down. These calls are recorded. They're put on my Facebook page. So later on, you can go write down the questions that we come up with. But right now, I just want you guys to be in the moment. And as questions come to your mind, I want you to just toss them out there. So as an example, the seller says to you, will you lower your commission? And so we want to answer that question with another question. My first go-to would be, no. Do you have any other questions? And that's how I would handle it. What questions would you guys throw out to a seller behind, would you lower your commission?
So what part of my marketing plan would you like me to leave out?
Okay.
Other than commission, is there any other reason you wouldn't hire me?
Okay, isolating. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what how commission splits work?
Love that. No, that's good, Hazel. That's good. How about go ahead.
What's important to you?
I'm sorry. If I'm willing to cut if you want me to cut my rate, what does that say for others that may come in here to represent you and they're not going to fight as hard as I am for you? You're going to pay for that.
Okay. I like that. I want to almost have you switch that one up and say, it sounds like you've had other agents who wanted to, were willing to reduce their commission. Is that the case?
Okay.
Sorry, it took me a minute to get that one out there, but I like to switch that up a little bit. And then they're going to answer that and say, yes. And then you talk about the whole negotiation.
Got it.
Yep. What else?
Are you looking to net the most money out of your home?
Great.
It's valid to ask them.
Go ahead, Elise.
It's valid to ask a question, answer a question answer a question with a question. Like, why do you think my commission is not worth it?
You can ask that.
Because from there, they're gonna give a feedback, and we can explain better why our commission level is important, not even for us, but for them.
Okay, fair enough.
Or we can ask, what's most important to you? Netting the most amount of money or my commission?
Perfect.
My commission.
So those were, I mean, if you think about everyone who just chimed in, we probably had about 8 different responses right there to, will you lower your commission? We need to have about 3 or 4, because if we're talking to a seller and they're pushing back on our commission and we just say one response and they still have an issue with our commission, we need to have an arsenal of different questions to ask that will get them to understand the value in paying our commission. So we have to ask questions to open up the conversation. So I like those 8. What's another objection that we can toss out there that we want to have some answers to?
I'm using a family member. My sister is a realtor.
Okay. What's the question we can ask around that?
Is your sister a full-time agent or a part-time agent?
Is your sister a residential agent or a commercial agent?
Why haven't you lived with your sister yet?
Love it.
That's a good one.
Would you be able to fire your sister?
Would you be using your sister because she's a relative, or are you using her because she's the best agent for the job?
Exactly.
That's good.
Why is it important for you to use your sister rather than another agent?
If you knew there was a way to hire a top agent like myself, but still make sure your sister was compensated, would that work for you?
Wow.
Oh, that's good.
Is your house located in the area in which your sister works?
Okay. Any more?
Jay,
Yep.
don't you think that we should ask questions that we know the answer of the feedback already? For example, if I ask why you're going to hire your sister, I have to have the answer most likely. Why he going to answer me back, and I can have a response. For example, if I ask you, why are you hiring your sister right now?
Well, my sister, she got her license, and I feel obligated to help her get her business off the ground.
But you know, the obligation is one thing, but business is something else. And we as the agent need to be knowing what we're doing. If I understand, you said that your sister just got the license, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So now your sister just got the license. Did you know how we do business and how the market works for us to sell the property as soon as possible? Because you told me that you're going to need to be in Florida by July. And I'm sorry, I'm running. And we don't have a lot of time to do this.
Well, yeah, but my mom would kill me if I didn't help my sister out. I mean, this is my baby sister. She got her license, and I just can't list with someone else, and I give her a shot.
But then you said that, yeah, I understand. My mom would probably do the same thing, but I'm going to ask you this. I understand there's family involved and emotions and all kinds of attachment into it. But let me ask you, you need to be in Florida by August. And it's your job that is in jeopardy if you're not there by that time. You think we have time to do those things if we don't do it the market that we need to do?
Yeah, my job and my life. If I don't use my sister, my mom would kill me. I feel an obligation to help her.
And I understand, but what happened if we compensate your sister at the same time? Then I can give your sister a referral fee, and that way we can help all of us at the same time. You can get to Florida, you can set up with your mom, and your sister gonna have a part also.
So you just told me something. I'm going to say my statement again. I want you to ask me a question around what I said. Yeah, but my mom would kill me if I didn't use my sister. I have to give her a shot. Ask me a question.
Does your sister have many? Is she familiar with this area?
Yeah, I mean, she grew up here. She grew up here.
So would your mom kill your sister if she didn't sell your house?
Okay.
I have a question for you.
I'm gonna pause you.
I have a question.
Elise. Yes, go ahead.
My question is, what has your sister established herself since she got her license? Has she established herself with a company? If she hasn't, why not have her come over to Keller Williams, and we will hook her up with an agent that she can co-list the house with, somebody that's experienced.
No, actually, she's already with the company. She's with Coldwell Banker. My aunt works there, so she's working with them. She's already set.
Oh, so she'd be co-listing this house with your aunt.
I don't know anything about what that means.
It means that your aunt would be on the listing as well, guiding her through, since she has no experience whatsoever. Coming from just coming out of school, she would need a mentor. That's what we do over at Keller. We mentor agents and make sure that they get a good start and a foundation. So you're telling me that she's going to be listing your house with no experience and not knowing what to do through inspections, attorney review, and everything else like that. If your aunt is working over at Coldwell Banker, don't you think it would behoove you to have your aunt co-list the house with her? I'm not going to judge your aunt or anybody else, but I'm saying it would be in the best interest of you getting to Florida to have her
I'm going to
hook up with
pause
an
you because
experienced
I
agent.
want us to be creating business for ourselves.
Hey,
not
how
give
come nobody's
a banker What questions can we ask? I hear what you're saying, but I want the opportunity to come to us. I want you to get that listing, Susan.
It's not going to come to you.
Are you aware? Are you aware that I could give her a referral, so therefore she would get some money? But do you really want to trust your sister on the biggest financial purchase of your, of your life, possibly?
Well, I mean, my aunt does work there, so she'll have some support.
She works where?
At Coldwell Banker with my sister.
Okay, so your sister's going to be learning with your aunt. Okay, well, you know what? I can totally appreciate that, but in all honesty, my feeling would be, how awkward is it going to be for you if you don't feel that they're doing the job that you would like? Could I at least explain to you what I do and how I get homes sold?
So first thing, I like where you went with that. Second thing is, let me answer your question before you move on. You asked me how awkward it would be. Give me an opportunity to tell you, because for me, it might be really awkward, but if you don't let me talk about it, then you're not getting enough information.
True.
So let me say, yeah, we thought about that. However, my mom's really been pushing me to help my sister out. So I really feel like I want to give her a shot. So it may be a little awkward, but it's family.
Good luck with that.
It's family. And then could I go into the fact of I could offer her a referral so you would not have the awkward? And that's what I do. I mean, I've given.
Are you asking me if you can go into it? I'd say.
Yeah, but I didn't know if you wanted me to teach that. I mean, say anything about that here, because
I want you to get
a lot of people are so against that. A lot of people are so against it, but I do it.
Yeah, get the listing.
Yeah, I go for the listing and I say, well, I'd be happy to give them a referral. And this way it would save the awkwardness. And honestly, you could always fire me if you don't feel I'm doing a good job. So if we don't get results, then you have the option of firing me. But let me show you what I can do, and let me. Would that be all right for you? I see. I don't close well.
Okay, so here would be the question. So your sister works at Coldwell Banker, and so does your aunt. Why did you not list with your aunt?
Mm-hmm. Because Mom wanted me to go with my sister.
Okay. Are you listing with them purely because they're family, or are you looking for the best agent that can get your home sold for top dollar and make sure you get to your destination in time? Ultimately, what's the most important thing?
Are you willing
up to hiring? Are you up to interviewing other agents?
Yeah. Listen, I know you have your sister and I know you have your aunt. However, if I could show you a way to get this property sold in the time you need it sold, and also compensate your sister, would that be something you'd be interested in hearing a little bit more about?
I lost you. I can't hear you. Hello?
You guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you just fine.
Okay. What if we ask that question? Like, listen, I understand your sister, your mom, you feel obligated to help her, and you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. Are you going to be okay if she helps you and you lose money on the sale of this home? Is that going to be okay with you?
That's what.
I would want to know their motivation.
Steve, I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you willing to share your financial information with your family?
That could be one. However, be careful with that, because I might not want to share it with you either.
Yeah.
But it could be one. It could be one you could use. You just have to be a little careful.
Yeah.
So
I would almost say, like, if you don't get the outcome that you're looking for, how is that going to have the impact, with your family? Like, is your mom going to make up the money that you're, the mom is, like, is your mom going to make up for the money that maybe you left behind?
Right.
Or how, if things don't go well with this transaction between you and your sister, how is that going to impact your relationship with her? Isn't that more important that you have a better relationship with your sister and you don't mix business? And I don't know. I'm going somewhere, but I don't know.
I hear where you're going. What if we use feel, felt, found? Can someone use that really quickly and tie this all together?
How would you? Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How would you feel if you found out that you felt, found? How would you feel if you found out that you left $20,000 on the table how would your mom feel if she found out that you lost $20,000 by using your sister?
I like that. So what if we said it this way, Dorit? What if we said, listen, I understand why you feel that way about using your sister. I have had other clients that have felt the same way. And what they actually found out when everything was said and done is that because they used a family member who was new and didn't really understand how to sell and market homes, they left $20,000 or $30,000 on the table. How would you feel if that happened to you?
And can you continue and say, you owe, it's something like if it was a friend, you could say you owe your friend friendship and you owe me nothing, but you owe yourself the very best. Now, this being a family, is there a way to modify that?
I mean, with this situation, I would say, like, listen, this is your sister, and I know it's family, and you feel like you owe her an opportunity. And you don't know me, you don't owe me anything, but you do owe yourself the very best. You do owe, you got to get this home sold for the most money. You have to be in Florida by July, correct? So if there was a way that you could do all that, you could list with the top agent that will get you to Florida by July, you could compensate your sister, and you could get to where you're trying to go and have the most money in your pocket, is that something you'd be open to? And I was going to say, well, what do you mean by that? And I'm going to say, I've had situations like this before when there was a family member who was involved, and either they didn't have the experience or they just didn't have the confidence that relative could sell their home. I stepped in and gave that family member a referral fee. They got paid for doing nothing, and those people hired me, and I got their home sold. And if I could compensate your sister, and she doesn't have to do anything, she just gets a check, she's happy, your mom's happy, but more importantly, you get your home sold and you get to Florida by July, do you think that would be a win-win?
Yeah.
So the reason why I wanted to stick on this comes up, and this is when we either lose the listing or we get the listing. How many people have listed a property when the seller had a relative, a close relative who was in real estate, but they still listed with you?
I did.
I did.
We did.
I did.
Okay. So it can happen. It can happen. And I bring this up to tell you, some of you guys have heard the story before. I called an expired in Wyckoff. When I looked at the listing, I realized it was actually a Keller Williams expired listing. And then I realized I knew the agent. And so if it's someone that I know, if they're in our office, before I call that expired, I call the agent just out of courtesy. So I called the agent and I said, hey, I saw you have this listing. It expired. Are you still going to work that? Are you still working that expired? And she explained to me it was her parents' house. I said, okay. I was like, that's always a tough one. They never want to listen to you when they change your diaper. So I get where it can be tough working with your parents. I said, you know me, I specialize in working with expireds. If I could help them get the property sold, are you willing to work with me? Like, I'd love to be able to help. Are you open to that? And she agreed to let me help. So she called her parents. I went to her parents' house with her, did the presentation. Her parents hired me, listed at my price, paid my commission, which was higher than her commission. I sold their house in one day, so that agent got a referral fee. Then I helped the parents buy a property, and that agent got a referral fee.
Wow.
And then when the agent wanted to buy a house in Franklin Lakes, because she was working full-time and doing real estate part-time, I helped her buy her house in Franklin Lakes and got a referral fee. All that is within a year. So when you talk about people having someone who's in real estate, or even agents that are in real estate, the opportunity's there if you're open to coming from contribution and seeing how you can best help. If your mindset is, they're never going to list with me because they know someone, or their sister or mother or brother's an agent, they're never going to work with me, they're never going to work with you, because that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if your mindset is, I can help these people, I'm coming from contribution, I know it's important to them, and I'm going to do my best job to help them, you can create opportunity for yourself. I got 3 deals within a year because my mindset was, all they can say is no, and I know I can help them. So I made the phone call. So just work on that mindset. Remember that video we watched last week about the negative thoughts. Don't say you can't, because if you say you can't, And you say it out loud is even more powerful. We have to stay positive and come from contribution to make the calls. All right.
Amazing story.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, David.
Thanks,
All right, let's
Dave.
practice asking questions. Patty and her husband have been playing the question game.
Horrible.
You guys
I
heard that.
love it, Patty. That made me laugh. I read that like several
Hey,
times.
hey, it was hilarious, but we
You
need to work
always
on
make me laugh.
It's a
Yes.
good game to play with your spouse or your partner or whatever. I'm telling you.
Yes.
I get
Keep on your toes.
I get slapped.
It's all of what you say, Raj.
No, I'd get slapped if I did that. The store.
So, all right, guys. Hey, I also just wanted to formally invite everybody. Wednesday evenings, 5:00, a conversation about scripts. We kind of have this type of conversation. It's open. The only difference is we're all kind of sipping on something, whatever that is. So I just wanted to invite anybody on this call who's interested in joining tomorrow at 5. I'd love to have you. And so that would be on my Facebook page. And if you want to watch it there, Facebook Live, you can. Or if you want to be in the actual call, you can be. I would just say be careful with your camera. Make sure if you're not decent, turn your camera off. And, you know, just be smart about it.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a story behind that. So I will talk to you guys later on.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Marianne, I'm sorry. I see your hand there. I'm so sorry. I was not ignoring you. I just saw it. So what's up? Sorry about that. Let me unmute you. Okay, say it again. You were muted.
Oh, yeah. Where's the best place to find scripts?
You know, it's a good question. For me, I love Mike Ferry. So I like to go to MikeFerry.com, and he has a tab called Free Resources. And you can download
Ferry, Ferry?
ERRY, MikeFerry.com.
Okay.
I've been using his scripts for about 10 years. I love everything about his scripts. So that's where I would direct you.
Okay. Resources
It's like free resources, and you may have to log on now, like create a password to get them. But they're free.
Okay.
And then listen, depending on which script you want, just go to Google, type in for sell by owner script or expired listing script, whatever it is, and you'll get a list of different scripts you can use. They're all good. It's just the ones that feel comfortable for you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Marianne.
All right. See you tomorrow.